ad for Street Easy
Mm-hmm.
that is like all about how
Never be a
a former New Yorker, right? We said New York or nowhere, and then we chose nowhere. I was like, who does that work on? Who sees that and is like, you know what? I should do Street Easy.
Here's my take. Who's taking the subway and buying a house?
Good boys. La la la. La la la. Good boys.
Well, we're recording, so I can no longer be funny or cute
Yeah.
or
Have to make sure everything is manicured perfectly
Yeah,
for
it got-
future employers, question mark, who might care?
No, it's not even that. I just get kind of dumb. I notice myself in these recordings going like, "Oh, cool. That's cool." When do I ever say cool? I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Ends conversation by not saying anything else.
Yeah. It's called in music red light syndrome. Do they say that in musicals?
Oh,
Musical theater?
interesting. I say, "Oh, interesting."
Yeah.
It's not.
That's just a big. I had musician friends that were like that could shred or play really well, but as soon as you were recording, you take them 40.
Oh.
That red light syndrome.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
called it.
yeah.
So it kind of is interesting. You're a dick, but that's fine. You can.
No, I have that with like self tapes for auditions. Where
Yeah?
it's like I can slay it, and then as soon as I want to put it on tape, I'm like, I didn't like that choice and that choice.
Yeah, the second I recorded the special afterwards, you're like, why would you say it like that? Why is that the
Really?
phrasing of the joke? Yeah, I mean, no, I'm happy with how it's turning out, but it is, as soon as you are I will not knock over anything, I know.
No, sorry, your
Oh,
elbow
okay.
just touched my phone.
But
Max
yeah, it's-
farted on my bed.
I didn't know how long it'd take to bring that up. Oh, I mean, it was at chest level when you're laying down, so nothing too bad.
Not the worst thing that's been on my chest.
Oh, God. You said you made me laugh really hard because I
Oh, yay.
farted and didn't miss a beat. Like, did you
You just kept talking, but full lean and toot sound.
Well, I had to let it out. You know, I didn't want to push. I just wanted to, right at your chest level.
God.
You said, well, I didn't know what you said, but then I was like, oh, are you mad? You're like, no, it's fine. You're just gross and I hate you. Well. Is that just wistful for the next hour? Make that noise?
Yeah. Well, we both said we're tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I woke up so early today.
What
It's fine,
time is
we're
early
powering
for
through.
you?
It's embarrassing for people who have real jobs, but like 7:15.
Work.
It's not early, but yeah, just woke up.
No,
mad
that's
early.
early.
Didn't go back to bed. I did my favorite like fat guy and being frugal move today, which is I went to get groceries when I got hungry so I could eat at Costco.
Oh.
Like I ate my lunch with
Oh.
the $1.50 hot dog and $2 pizza. It's
That's
great.
good. Yeah, that's great.
But it was like, I'm not that hungry. I don't really need groceries, and I should be eating better. But I'm going to go to Costco right now because it's like a 20-minute walk for me.
I have a green pepper in my fridge that I'm battling a mental war with. Because I'm always like, I stopped buying peppers because I never eat them. But I'm like, but I like them a lot.
My life's better when there's peppers here.
Well, I like them a lot, and they're healthy for me.
Yeah.
But then when I'm hungry, I want anything in the world except to eat a pepper, which I like. What is that?
There's something about like playing the adult card, right? I think there's like saying no feels good to something you know you should do. You know.
Interesting. Yeah.
So you get
Interesting. I'm breaking that habit today.
Okay. I don't think you are, but you get the good feeling
Well,
of.
let's pause for a minute. Why don't you believe in me?
I just never do. I just think you're gonna. Because I keep doing that on these.
I'm going to go eat that pepper right
Yeah,
now.
go get it.
I'm
Come
gonna
back.
eat it on mic.
Just do some ASMR. No, I was saying you get to have like the good feeling of buying it. I'm so healthy. I'm such a good boy.
Right.
And then
Hashtag.
I'm a fucking adult. I don't have to eat that stupid pepper if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like you get to double dip the good.
Right. And I do indulge a lot where I'll be like, I don't want to lay in my bed and scroll through TikToks and I feel bad and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, actually, if I want to spend all night scrolling through TikTok, I can do that.
Yeah.
And then I usually don't want to.
Yeah, as soon as there's no like guilt associated, it's
Yeah.
like, this isn't that bad. It is weird that we want to be guilty,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I grew up Catholic.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. And let me tell you what, something about being Catholic and gay is like You get to be so guilty. Isn't this so bad? Oh, we're being so bad. Come on, that's pretty good.
It's pretty hot. That's pretty nice. I grew up Episcopalian, so you couldn't do anything wrong.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I went to like a gay wedding at my church, and like while Bush was still president. You know what I mean? Like early when it still was. They technically had to call it a commitment ceremony. Our church was like, they're getting married. The boys are getting married.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
They like historically had gay people in the cloth, black folks, women, all before any other church really did. It was. I grew up in a little college town, and basically all the professors went there.
I see.
So it's just the
Episcopalian has the word piss
eat
in
a
it.
lot of fish. Oh, pescatarian. I was making
I
the
was
same
thinking
joke,
it sounds
but
like a
different.
dinosaur that can't hold its bladder.
Hey, that's my culture. Could you come on? I know we joke here, but
Interesting. So anyway, Episcopalian.
yeah. Can I tell you something I got like really mad about on the way over here?
No.
All right. It was
So the other day.
well, it was something like I don't know why it bubbled up in me, but it was my 9th grade science teacher.
Okay.
And it was the worst grade I ever got from like all the way through high school. I got a C+ in that guy's class.
Mm-hmm.
And I got an A on every assignment and at least a B on every test. Like I got the work, I understood it. But at the end, he had I think he called it a binder project where you had to turn in your binder of every assignment, every assignment from the year to show that you had something to study. And I was like, yeah, I don't have that. I was you're going to hate this. I was a put loose papers in my bag and it would be crumpled at the bottom guy.
You might think that I would hate that.
You were him too?
But I was him too.
Hell yeah. What a good boy. We're the same. But yeah.
Let's hold space for that.
Yeah, for
Let's
you.
hold space for the
for all the judgmental looks we got for not wanting to keep a test we already took.
And you know what? Yes. And also, I would carry around every single book with me. Like, I couldn't process using a locker.
Never use my locker.
Never once.
No.
I didn't even know which one was mine.
I would go through like 2 months where I was like, maybe I'll put my coat in there. But other than that, no. And it was my...
I had a backpack, textbooks, and a binder bag that I would carry. I walked home from school 2 miles a day.
Uphill? Both ways? No, Mr. Anderson, my 9th grade, and he gave me a C+ because I didn't have it. And I was like, I aced your test, dude.
That sucks.
Like, it's there.
People like that suck.
Well, he was incredibly nice, and it was there so that the dumb kids could get their grade back, right? It was a huge percentage, and, like, that was his point. He's like, it's no extra effort. It's easy. Just put it in a binder. I was like, it's extra effort for me. I don't scrapbook. I don't move stuff. I hate owning things.
Pointless. It's so pointless.
Yeah, I wanted
and it's
to
like
fight
we're
him
not
so
learning life lessons in this class. Let's learn the it's not like, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
No, actually,
well, it's
that's
just not like a life. Like, why is this life lesson you're trying to teach me about like keeping organized a part of my grade when I know the material?
Well,
also grade inflation is so real.
Oh, it's crazy.
Back in the day, my parents, would get B's and C's, and they were great students. Now you get a C, and it's like, kill yourself. You're terrible.
You should die.
And then if you get anything like an A- or lower, and it's inflation of the grades.
Yeah, it's crazy. Thanks, Trump. We finally blame him for something. Everything else has been great.
Tariffs on Spanish class.
Yeah, Senor Tabler, deport him, okay?
Yeah.
The American
that would
born.
be a good plot of like students try to get their Spanish teacher deported because they have bad grades.
They want to get into college, so they're gonna go get them back. I'm a big fan of that.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. That would never. No, I like that. Or they have to like the French teacher's a bitch and they don't want to take French, so they want to get their cool like pothead Spanish teacher back.
Oh, teacher back, and then
Oh, we're going opposite. You're like the kids call in like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're going to Mexico to rescue him, more like a road trip.
That's
movie.
much better. Mine's just kind of evil.
You're just like, I don't like these kids.
Mine's
at
a
the end of
drama.
this
Mine's
one.
a drama.
Oh yeah, no, mine's.
Yours a buddy comedy.
Cheech or Chong is teaching. You know what I mean? And this one gets supported. He's like, okay,
I believe it's pronounced teacher.
What?
Not teacher.
Oh, is that what I said?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Got it. All right. Anyway, did you take languages?
I took Spanish for like 10 years of my life. Can't speak a lick. Though, yesterday night, I went out for tacos, ordered completely in Spanish at this place called La Abuelita. And it was, first of all, so cheap, so incredibly good.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, I went up to the lady. She's wearing like this floral embroidered apron. Goes, hola. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Jesus, take the wheel.
Zoned in. Jesus, take the wheel.
That's good.
Thank you.
You got me good with that.
Yeah. I don't make you whistle often like that.
So anyway,
Well,
the only one that I almost, because she was like, con todo, I'm like, con todo. I mean, I know that means everything.
Yeah.
And then she kind of mumbled like here, for here, aquí, or to go, or whatever. I don't know how you say
para
that.
salir.
Right. And I was like, and she's like, for here. And I'm like, aquí.
Dude. You know, I used to be like mostly fluent, right?
Yeah.
I would get, did I tell you that like I get drunk and I'll be able to get back to English? Have we talked about that?
Mm-mm.
I really liked Spanish, like a lot. I
Yeah.
took 4 years in high school. I took 1 year. I was going to minor in it in college, and then made me start reading about history in Spanish. I was like, no, I don't read English history. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing another language. But at that point, I was going to conversation hours. I'd go to office hours to like just hear more and talk more. And yeah, we'd get tacos, and if I was good and drunk, I'd switch to Spanish to order, and like I'd start bullshitting with the guy, because dude, when a guy looks like me, and this is back when I used to have a buzzed head and no beard, I was like a little butterball white boy.
Yeah.
When I can speak
I've
Spanish,
seen those pictures. You have a very specific look.
yeah, no matter what I do, I always just, oh, that's a guy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd switch into Spanish and bullshit, and they'd love it. And then I'd go talk to my friends, and if I was hammered enough, I would like struggle to get back to English.
Right.
And they'd be like, God damn it, don't talk to them. We'll order. I'm like, no, let me order. We get more food if I order.
True.
But it happened
There's a lot
yesterday.
in there.
I have a buddy, and I still worked in an office. His name's Jesus back in Ohio, and he was teaching me Spanish. He's from Mexico. Well, he's Mexican from San Francisco. I taught him in my special a little bit. He's an amalgamation of the special. But the way we learned was I was keeping a diary in Spanish.
Oh.
That was the best advice I think I've ever seen, which is like, that tells you all the stuff you want to say. It's what you did today. It's how you felt.
Right.
It's the day of the week, all this stuff. But then I'm having to like,
Lunes.
Martes.
Miércoles.
Hey, I didn't know if you'd get in. Well, but I would send it to him, and I realized like, well, if I want this to work, I like actually have to take a journal. So I'm just being like incredibly intimate with my thoughts and problems of the day, and then
Sure.
sending it to a coworker I'd known for 6 months. And he's like, all right, well, maybe less of
Seek
the
help.
yeah. But he edited it. So he's the homie. And yesterday I walked in my bodega, and my buddy Jesus has me listen to Vicente Fernandez, who makes ranchero music, which
Okay.
is just the most Mexican music. It's like Mexican
Mhm.
country. It's slower, it's repetitive.
Oh, awesome.
Grandmothers love it that I know who he is. But it was Por tu maldito amor is a song of his that was playing yesterday as I walked in. And it's a newer bodega, and I haven't gotten in with the guys yet.
You sang along?
And it's finally a Spanish bodega, not a Muslim bodega, because those are the
Okay.
two, at least in my neighborhood,
Sure.
two strains you get. And I asked him, I go, Vicente? And he goes, oh, sí. And like I talked a little bit and said, no, that's in Spanish. I'm not going to do it now. But I was like, that's how I'm trying to learn, is by listening to more music. And then old boy really switched to Mexican Spanish and spoke fast as fuck to me.
And you're like, hold on now.
Yeah, I was able to keep up enough. Like, I ordered enough, but then he started asking about what I wanted on it. I was like, dude, it's a bacon, egg, and cheese. There's not that many options. He's just rattling stuff off.
Queso.
But yeah, I was.
Come on, I'm coming out with
you're
these
doing it.
words.
You're swinging hard on the
I
vocab.
feel like
I love it.
the vocab, I'm good.
Okay, I'm the opposite. I could never. I have very
I was
few
like
words.
yeah,
but
I'm like memorizing words, but then as soon as it comes to like stringing things together and putting verbs in different places, I'm like, I'm out.
it was always whatever I knew I could
Itchy
think
and-
in.
I'm like adjusting things in itchy.
Just in your head about saying it's interesting or what?
Yeah, I'm struggling to hold back. It's interesting. It's interesting. How are they gonna know what I find interesting and not?
Oh, I love it. I love being able to speak Spanish with this face.
Yeah.
I've had so many looks, like when people turn
Mhm.
around, like, that came out of you?
Vikingo.
Yeah.
El Vikingo?
El Vikingo. Oh, what did I do with my phone? I'm going to show you Vicente Fernandez, his his album cover is amazing.
I'm gonna show you a picture of my dick and balls.
Please do. You know what we haven't done in a while since early days.
Jerk off together.
Well, you kept denying my requests.
I'm trying to queer bait the audience for you,
I
because
don't know what that means.
that means like, are you familiar with the Basement Yard pod?
No.
With Frankie and what's his name?
No, I'm not.
It's a famous podcast,
Okay.
especially on TikTok, and they're two straight guys, but then they'll say kind of gay stuff. And I feel like, I don't know,
Hey,
people like it.
yeah, it's the only community you can bait. I think you can't be like dropping hints that we're black secretly or like trans. You know what I mean?
medium.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You drop the first one.
Nope.
Look at this. Tell me this
There's-
isn't absolutely perfect. I'll
Oh my
I'll put
God.
it up. And it's
kind
I
of
mean
giving a woman's.
it is. And it's bright red and he wears the giant sombrero a
Wow.
lot. And I kind of want to recreate it with the rose as my comedy album
Fun.
cover. Like it wouldn't make any sense, but it'd
No.
be very fun.
Yeah, I like that.
Anyway, you were about to say sorry.
I was. What
You
was
were
I
in the
about
middle
to
of
say?
something when I pulled that up. You were gonna say something with a black accent. That's what it was. I cut you
Oh.
off. My bad. I knew you wanted to really bad.
Okay, here I go. That's my cookie. That's my
Dude, you
treat.
can't use that word, okay? And I can't
Cookie?
believe you're gonna say that.
If Ariana
I
Grande
edit.
can say it, I can say
No,
it.
I edit.
Oh.
I'm just gonna put a big.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Redacted.
Redacted.
So we haven't seen each other in a little while.
It's been weird.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, we normally, even if we don't have this, we normally have
usually see
something.
each other
Yeah,
somehow. What's up?
I've just been working a lot,
Yeah.
and like
Me too.
it's good. It's the busy season for the day job right now,
Right.
which is. It's a nice cycle for comedy a little bit because it's like, oh, I'm going to work a bunch these next 2 months and then have a really easy time over the summer doing more
Which
shows.
is when
and
that picks up.
Yeah.
Comedy and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that, wait, because it's actually not that for stand-up.
Oh, really?
Stand-up does worse when it gets really nice out because people have other stuff to do.
Oh.
But on like, well, and because, there's going to be more outdoor concerts and festivals and there's
Right.
just more. Yeah, during the winter. Not the like
guess-
miserable winter.
Right. People are like, we got to do something tonight.
Yeah,
What
might as
can
well
we
go.
bear?
Yeah, might as well see a bunch of white guys say stuff. See stand up. But is theater more in summer? Like, is there more?
I feel like it almost coordinates with event season,
That makes sense.
where it's like May and June are really high theater, and then also probably September, October, November.
Okay, that's kind of annoying for you to try to have this day job and.
Yeah, I don't work that hard. I don't work the way you work.
I just
I
need
have
money.
a really cheap apartment. I eat groceries. I don't drink.
Yeah, I've realized I spend so much money eating out.
Yeah.
That's literally all I spend my money on, and I don't make a lot of money, but I
His
should have
girlfriend
more.
charges him a lot to eat her out.
I happily pay for that. Is that soul food?
You
Can I
little-
say that?
You're funny today. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I want to not explain that. We'll just move on. See
We'll
who
move
gets it.
on.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
No, I really spent so much money on food. Oh, yesterday
Uh-huh.
I went to do that reading I was telling you about of the play,
Uh-huh.
and the guy took me. He wanted to meet on the Upper West Side because he works over there. We were next door to the gin mill or whatever you took me to with your sister.
Oh, I mean, that's just, yeah.
That was crazy. I've never been on that block except to
That
meet
is
you there.
crazy.
And then we went. There's a bakery
Oh,
next door. We
funny.
got coffee and red at.
That's kind of funny.
Right?
I've never really been on that block. Oop.
We're dropping nuts. Oh, say can you see?
What's the matter with me? Okay. I've never really been on that block.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister at the time her hostel was around there.
That's why we were there. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember why we went there, but it was. I got there a little early. And I was just on the phone, walking around the block, talking to some
Do
friends.
you want to hear something crazy?
So on the way over,
So
I
the
was.
other day so last week my mom was in town because she's a nanny, and she was like, this family moved up here from DC where she used to take care of this kid,
Mhm.
and the parents are on vacation, and she came up to just watch the
Oh,
kid.
cool.
I didn't know where she was staying. We were hanging out later that weekend, but she got in that day. Same day, I wanted to go to this bakery in Flatiron. I don't know if I've ever spent a single minute in Flatiron before.
Okay.
So I go to the bakery in the morning and
Redacted.
Redacted.
Dang it! Quit giving me work.
Me and boyfriend are sitting there, eating these pastries, blah, blah, blah. It's really cute. I'm like, let's go for a little walk. We're walking down the street. I go, Mom? We walk by her on the street.
Whoa.
How insane is that?
That's wild.
And it's crazy for many reasons. Because I had no idea where she was staying.
Right.
And it just happened to be on that block.
Yeah.
Second of all, she just like went to do a grocery run. Me and boyfriend were sitting in the park for like an hour and just decide to get up and start going for a walk. Had it been 5 minutes in either direction, we would not have run into each other.
Whoa. And she doesn't have your location. She isn't.
No.
That's crazy then.
It's so crazy.
That's pretty cool. What did you guys go? I guess we have to hang out now, or
Well,
did you just hit her with the Mom? All right, I gotta go.
No, like she brought us up when we saw the apartment she was staying at and that sort of thing. But I had a rehearsal right after that I was going to.
Nice.
But we hung out the next day and seen her since. But
Yeah,
it's
no,
so wild.
That is wild. Me and the girlfriend were talking about that. How it's like as soon as you go somewhere once, it feels like you're gonna be there a lot. Like New York, there's so much going on. There's so many more of those instances than back home. I think. Like, just millions of people all trying things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know one of the most exciting things about the city to me before I moved here was they said
What?
you could eat at a different restaurant every meal for the rest of your life and not get through Manhattan.
Yeah.
Let alone Brooklyn and
It's
Queens.
amazing.
It's awesome. I was on the phone yesterday with some guys back home, and they were like, yeah, we're going to come up, and I think August is the plan. Like, you can show us all the food spots. I was like, I'm not even going to take that one personally. Like, yeah, I can. I can show you exactly where to go.
I think about that a lot because I go out to like bars and restaurants and stuff in Bushwick on my block, and I'm like, who are all of you people? How is there 100 people here on my block
That I've never even seen.
Never seen.
Yeah. I like the opposite of that, too.
And of course, the one weird hookup I had 3 years ago walks in every time.
Yeah, the one weird hookup
well,
you
I guess
had.
the one of many.
Yeah, I think that's the number you want to look for.
That's happened a lot working at the cafe. Is like people I've hooked up with in the neighborhood who I've had kind of maybe weird instances with come in and they're like, "Can I have a coffee?" And I'm like, "I was inside you."
I was inside of you. Please get out of here.
Well, no. Then I have to do customer service on them.
Which you serve, yeah.
That's what I call dicking someone down.
Dicking them down as customer service. Please rate and review.
I turn the screen around for a tip.
Do you like it? I don't know. Are you a geographical dater?
Well, I wasn't begging for the tip like them. Hey, there's more we can mine out of this.
I feel like it's
all right. Am I geography?
Are you like a geographical dater? Were you on Grindr? Is that how it was?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
Which honestly feels really amazing now that I'm dating someone is that I haven't had Grindr on my phone for now over 2 years.
Whoa.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah.
Because it's so, I guess you wouldn't know this, but it's really addictive and destructive.
No, there's a ton of people that are willing to fuck your know-how feet away, and you tend to like to get on that app.
Yeah, but it's not that you want to hook up with people. It's that you want to use the app and message people and get all your new sexual blah, 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 all on the screen, all by yourself in bed.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because it's a much longer fucking game on Tinder with straight women.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a longer like.
No, you could download Grindr. You could download Grindr and get 3 dick pics within 20 minutes.
Seriously?
All from me.
It's on my phone. It's on my iPad.
Queerbaiting.
Yeah. What, you mean it?
Anyway, I'm blushing.
I was not good. Dude, I told you when I got scammed on Tinder, right?
Yes. You bought a person a coffee.
Yeah. I realized I also got scammed on
Grindr.
They said there would be girls, okay? They said they had girlfriends.
They have some girls, just not
Really?
the kind you're probably looking for.
No, what is the one that's for like hookups specifically that's like field?
Oh.
It's more it used to be apparently more like kink specific.
Right. And now it's just like anyone who's interested in casual.
Yeah, and it's also, I have one roommate who is a big fan of that app, and he's like, go back to Hinge. Get out of here. Like, apparently it's been very Hingified. But, no, I got some woman's, like, wanting to meet up there, and she lived, like, 15 blocks from me. I was like, sure, I'll walk down. And we'd been talking, and then she, like, gave me the cross streets. And I was like, cool, I'll see you there. And reading back, I don't think she ever specifically was like, I will leave right now. But she was like, yeah, we should meet up, and da-da-da. And, like, tonight we could. And then I just went down there and was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, when your dick has walked you out of the door, and you're like, why am I... I think had I played my cards right in another 2 hours, maybe we'd have got a drink. But I just like, all right, I'll see you. Those are the cross streets you're near.
Okay, so then you were just there, and she was like, off doing
never
something else.
never responded. And then I was like, still had the 25-year-old guy energy of like, I'm here.
I gotta punch a wall.
Well, no, just like I could not message her. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, the smart move is to go home and not say anything.
Yeah.
The move that's going to happen is, hey, I'm here if you're around.
Yeah.
I hate the game stuff.
Well, sure. Everyone says they hate the game. Everyone plays the game.
Disagree. The roommate that I'm thinking of loves the game. This is like his favorite thing.
Oh.
Do you not agree with that?
Long hair?
Yeah, well, that's more recognizable than his actual name with his fucking I will bleep that. Redacted. I saved your version of redacted. You don't have to say it every time.
Redacted.
You are welcome to, but I have a saved file, so it's the same one.
Noted.
Okay. I noticed on the last one that you kept doing it after. I was like, that's very kind and unnecessary.
No, I just think it's funny, so
okay,
I
great.
want to say
Happy
it myself.
yeah, please keep doing it.
I don't want to give that joke credit to past me. I want it to current me.
Right now? Okay, that's fair. Just making sure you knew.
We can't talk about this person's sex life anymore on the pod. It's
It's
getting
too much.
tawdry and
Okay. I had a good... Or you had stuff you wanted to talk about this time. You actually have a list this time.
I have a small little list. First was... I have to turn this into a stand-up bit, actually.
Okay.
I am getting ready for this show where I'm in full drag.
Mhm.
Like full drag.
It's the whole show, right?
Whole show.
Oh, okay.
And we just got these breastplates that we got for free. They're usually like $400 or $500, but we had a breast connect. And
Straight baiting. You have a breast connect.
so I was rehearsing with my writing partner McKenna, and I was like, "Can I bring mine home? Because I want to practice in it." Should I show you? It's right here.
Don't awaken something in me.
These are my tits. These are my tits for the show.
Oh, I hate that. That's awesome.
They're really heavy.
Has a good set R. Jesus Christ.
I know.
These are like realistic.
They're super realistic.
This is
Look, it's got the hair follicles around the nipples.
Yeah. What the fuck?
It's not the color of my skin. Please don't. Those are my boobs you're touching. Ew. Anyway.
Ew.
So after rehearsal,
You should put those on for the rest of the episode, actually.
we'd have to blur them out for TikTok.
Oh, they're the nips?
Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy?
Even the fakies?
Even the fake ones.
Okay, put them on under. Let's
Thanks,
just have you...
Donald Trump. You can't see tits on the internet anymore? Jesus. What was I talking about? Okay.
Anyway,
so
yeah, you brought them home to rehearse.
I put them in my backpack to take them home. I was meeting up with boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and some of his friends. They were on the steps of the Met because they had just gone to the Met. I get there, I have to pee so bad. Boyfriend's like, well, they have restrooms inside and it's free to go in.
Mm-hmm.
I go in. Security goes, oh, we have to check your bag.
Are you sure?
And I'm like, you guys, I have to tell you something. I have to tell you, you're going to find a breasts in there. My face instantly turns the deepest shade of red possible. Because in my mind, I'm like, they're going to think I'm going to walk in, steal a painting.
And leave as a woman.
And leave as a woman, never to be seen again.
Why isn't that in what Ocean's 8 was?
It should have been a drag heist. Because literally, they go through my bag. I pull out a pair of tits. I pull out a dress and a wig. How crazy is that? And there's some jokes to be had about me going and stealing a painting
and
with my giant tits.
Well, a bunch of guys in drag doing it would mean it would actually get done too, because they'd be
Period.
competent and not arguing.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you were just like, fellas.
I was like, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out.
No, seriously, for real. Stop laughing. I just need to go to the
Luckily,
bathroom.
2 women who are
Luckily,
the security
that
checkpoints.
feels way worse to me.
Are you kidding me? If it was like a big straight guy that I had to pull my tits out in front of.
Okay, that's fair. No, I just feel like to women, they'd be like, the fuck are you doing?
No, they were laughing and they were like, I was like, has this ever happened before? They're like, it's not the craziest thing we've seen, but we've never seen someone pull out boobs from a backpack before.
I want to know what the craziest thing they saw was.
Right. I wanted to move on and go pee. And I wanted to steal the Mona Lisa, dressed as Mona Lisa.
I mean, that's obviously been used as a drag name, right? Mona Lisa,
Yeah.
has to have been. I do think that would be a
I
fantastic.
came up with a couple good ones.
Hit me.
I need to remember it. Animatronic.
Okay.
That's all that.
That's
that
it.
was
That's
my
the
favorite.
good one.
That was
Yeah,
a good
it's a good one.
Although you never want your name to be Anna. No offense to Annas. Like, you don't want to be a drag queen named Anna. That's such a plain. You want to be like Mystique or something.
Oh, I see what you're
You're
saying.
not like
that's not the
in
chosen.
full drag, and you're like, "Hi, I'm Anna." You know?
Yeah. That makes sense. Have you like adjusted to life with tits? Are you able to move around and all
God,
that?
you can't do anything with those things.
Yeah.
Because they're also really heavy, and then since it's silicone on skin, it gets super sweaty super fast.
Yeah.
So I need to wear some sort of undershirt or something.
That makes sense.
But I'm also wearing a corset and hip pads,
Oh my god.
fake eyelashes.
It's too much.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, and I put on my full getup the other day with no makeup or wig just because I needed to measure out my leotard.
This is the gayest conversation we've had in a fucking minute. And that's such a high bar to clear for us. Oh my god, dude. I just had to make sure the leotard fit.
I had to make sure the leotard fit. And I look in the mirror and I have this like truly like hourglass womanly slamming bod with these tits and hips.
Yeah.
It looks crazy because my
Okay.
waist is cinched like
Yeah.
so tight. I look like an hourglass gorgeous diva. Boy head face hair. It just was like, what's happening? It's like in the Scooby-Doo movie, the second Scooby-Doo
Mhm.
movie. Did you see those? When Shaggy like drinks a potion and his body turns into a woman. Definitely as a kid I was like, what's going on down there?
You have any comment?
We've got someone who's got something to say.
Reporting live from the scene. I've been watching this documentary on the kids in the hall, and there are two things they're famous for outside of comedy. Like the broader things were, one, they had an openly gay person kind of in the middle of the AIDS pandemic,
Work.
and it was actually one of the straight actors kissed him in a scene,
Mhm.
and it was not played for a laugh. That was just part of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
But they were also really known for it was five guys, but they did a bunch of drag.
Mm.
And they didn't play their women like Monty Python, right? They just were grounded. Like they would up their pitch of their voice and they'd
Sure.
walk different, but the joke was not look at me as a woman. It was
Right.
this is this character,
Isn't
right?
it funny to see a man in a dress?
And I've read 2 books about them.
Mhm.
I've watched 2 documentaries on. I've only seen 4 episodes of the show, but I've done a lot of behind the scenes work. And every piece of media I've consumed about them, someone has to mention how hot Dave Foley was in drag. I don't know
Word.
why, but it's always like, yeah, man,
Can I
and
get a picture up?
yeah, Dave Foley drag, I'm sure it will. He literally said that like they'd have crew members coming up, be like, Dave, you gonna be that redhead again today? It's like,
Ooh.
no. And it's like, fuck. All right, well, I'll get behind the camera now. It just feels so unnecessary that I've read 2 books and watched 2 different docs to talk about them. Or I've watched
Is
2 episodes of a doc.
This is a biological woman.
Let me see. Yeah, dude, isn't
That's
that
crazy.
nuts?
She looks gorge.
Yeah, Dave Foley from Kids in the Hall and Drag. But
She looks so good. Sigourney Weaver.
yes, and I agree, and it's nice to call it out. I don't know why it's every guy who talks about it in everything. Like, it's not once at the beginning of the book or once in a chapter. It's like every 40 pages someone brings up how hot Dave was. It's like, Why is this important for me historically?
And it is. And nevertheless, she persisted.
And never, that is a woman's own right there.
That's a woman's own.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I had another thing I wanted to talk about. Or another funny story or something. I've had a really eventful life. Oh, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
Okay, I went to this play fest, which was 4 35-minute plays. Way too much.
That's a lot.
Most of it was pretty boring. But my friend directed one of the shows, and her direction was incredible. But and it wasn't hers, the one that I'm about to talk about. The one that I'm about to talk about, thusly, is what I'm about to say, which is...
You just did a real life. I got to get more words in this thing.
Yeah, when the word requirement on an essay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this play starts that it's like 3 improvisers on the day of Trump's election in 2016, and it's a comedy about them like feeling their feelings, and
I could see that being good.
And
I
it
could
was
see,
good.
and if you're making fun of the artist who thinks the artist is so important.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's what we're laughing about.
Yeah.
And it is funny. And the teacher comes in to be like, "Oh, what's going on, guys?" And they're crying, and the teacher's like, "Weird, whatever." And it's funny.
Yeah.
It is funny, and they're getting laughs. And as it goes, they're getting more and more over the top. So then, partway through, they all freeze, and one of them goes up to the whiteboard and flips it around, and slowly writes 2025. And as they're writing that, this audio plays with all of these terrible things that Trump has done, where it's like true, like bad shit, one after another. This lady comes out in the middle and goes, "So, was that funny? Do y'all think that was hilarious?" To the audience.
Whoa.
I was shook.
Whoa.
She was like, "Was that really, really funny? Did you find that hilarious?"
Now that's in the script, you think, or that was
Yes.
okay?
Yeah. So then she gives kind of this speech about it, but everyone's wig pulled off. Like the audience sitting there, you could hear a pin drop. It was
Oh my
so
God.
cunty. It was so cunty.
I can't tell if that's good or bad in this context.
I don't think it's good or bad, but
Okay.
it is cunty.
Okay.
Because the play itself,
This is how Russians have a bunch of words for blue we don't have, and like Native Alaskans have like 40 words for snow.
yeah.
You're like, this is cunty. No, it's cunty. No, it's cunty. Like you have gradations I can't see.
yeah. And it's, cunty is not even in the scale of good or bad.
What?
It's like some other third thing.
Okay, all right.
Um,
What's the axis? What's the opposite of cunty? Would it be like timid?
Floppy? Maybe?
Sweaty?
No.
Okay. I got no idea what the North Star for cunty is then. I'm trying to understand.
I think like irrelevant or like, what's the word? Maybe timid's good.
Because cunty it seems a little bit
Bold.
like, like what fierce maybe was, but a little bit less PG. Do you know what I mean?
It's fierce. It's fierce, but it's almost more cutting than fierce.
Yeah. Cutting is a good word to add in there. Your word for the National Spelling Bee is
Cunty.
Can you use it in a sentence, please? Can I get the country of origin?
This play was cunty as hell.
We're just like defining it. Okay, so she comes out, really cunts it up.
Yeah, she comes out and goes, "So was that funny?" Waits for someone to say something. Looks at the audience.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty solid.
And then no one says anything, of course, and she ends up giving this speech, which I think almost lowers the caliber.
Yeah, that's a harsh ending to leave on. If you end your play on, was that funny?
I would want blackout. End of
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that's...
But they did have more to say, and their speech was like, it was definitely... They didn't leave you being like, why did this get cut, and why did we get asked, is this funny? Like, they kind of it contextualized that whole moment for us, which I think was helpful. But I just thought you would enjoy that.
I love that so much.
And I was like,
challenging the audience is hilarious.
And it made me feel something the way theater should. Like the other plays were good, but they didn't make me viscerally be like, I want to leave, which is a feeling.
It is something, yeah.
It was incredible.
And it'll sit with you, and
Yes.
it recontextualizes the laughs you had, right? Like you feel different about.
yeah.
You know, I had so doing all these different, Magnet, UCB, Second City. Something Second City talked about was they don't perform for comedy audiences. They perform for tourists. That's their market is, the general audience.
Mm-hmm.
So their like setups are a little bit more ham-fisted. They will repeat things a little bit more than like if you go to a UCB show where it's like everyone there has done comedy before.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit hipper, a little bit faster. And that's such an interesting, like, I wonder if that over-explanation was for the non-theater audience.
Right.
Right? And like for you, you're like,
No.
oh, that ate, and I get out on that and it'll leave me weird all night.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we kind of also want to reach more folks,
Well, and then they came to conclusions in that speech that I certainly would have come to on my own. I would have just been left with the feeling and not kind of the reason.
Interesting. Yeah, the play that
But I loved it. I loved that moment.
Yeah, that's that.
And I feel like everyone hated that moment, which made me
That's
love
why
it
you love
more.
it. Yeah. Dude, you were at my special taping. You think I say some of the things I say because I want everyone to like it? Like, no, dude.
Right.
Digging that hole is so fun.
You know what? One of your openers came for me that night when she told me I laughed like a bully.
Yeah, dude, that was Amy Cardinale. She's so funny.
The only person that got talked to in the audience, me.
And she talked shit. And she didn't do it on the next show. It was just a really not like your bully laugh, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I that's incredible. I was working on the play that we're gonna do the reading of. I'm gonna do a reading of on May 9th, if anyone happens to be around.
Come through.
But yeah, doing a reading at the Barrel
And if
Group.
you want to come to my show, plug,
Yeah.
The World's Most Interesting Sisters on April 27th at 7 p.m. at BCC Main Stage.
Which is, what's BCC?
Brooklyn Comedy Collective.
Yeah. But I'm working on it, and someone's like, I think you should really. There's a pretty strong thesis statement. One of the characters, it's a 2-person play, so one of them has a real strong point of view and states it. He's like, I think the other guy should come back with why he thinks the other way. I was like, I don't. I think that is very ham-fisted and like not bad, but like I don't need you to say like this is how my mom raised me, and the other one's like, no, this is how my mom. Like, no, it doesn't need to be that in your face. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you know the end of Hadestown?
No.
I haven't seen it, but I know the myth it's based on.
Sure.
And I know the blackout because I've had it spoiled for me. Is it fine for me to spoil Hadestown?
Yeah.
The blackout
Spoilers.
The blackout is him looking back. Do you know the myth it's based on?
No.
I want to see it bad if you want to go.
Blackout.
Is that another hint on us being African American? Is that what that was?
Yes.
We're
Yes,
we're out. It's basically it's an old it's a Greek myth where basically a performer, like a singer-songwriter of ancient Greece, like a lute player, I suppose, his love gets taken to Hades. He comes to rescue her. He is successful, but Hades says you got to walk out without ever looking back. So you have to trust that she follows you and makes it. And I think in the original, he looks back and she gets sucked back into Hades, or he has to leave her. But
in this one, he looks back and he gets
and
sucked.
it's the blackout. Yeah, but you don't.
Yeah.
But like it
You
ends
don't
on you
know.
don't
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
if he gets outside of the pit, he's able to look at her. But it's like you don't know if he actually made it far enough before he like was worried, because he's also throwing auditory hallucinations at him and trying to make him think she didn't make it and all that.
Hey, turn around.
Hey,
Hey,
dude,
look behind you. Psst. Hey, turn around.
hey, dude, I want a signature. Can I get your autograph?
Oh, she's taking her top off. You're going to want to see this.
Oh, dude, sweet nips. Look at him.
There's a chili corn dog back here. Never seen one of those, huh?
Hey, look, there's a guy.
There's one of those little dogs in a wheelchair that's really pathetic, but you can't look away.
Yeah,
Look
just stuff like that. That
Look
was
at
really what Hades was working with.
There's a... I can come up with one more.
Hey, there's a platypus. Oh, fuck, that's a different continent. You guys don't know what those are.
Where do those live?
Australia?
Work.
Is that really? You didn't know that?
What would make you turn around? If he was like, look, there's a really cool fish tank, I would turn around.
Be strong? Yeah, no.
Be like, yeah, if there... Look, behind you, there's a great white shark and a really cool fish tank. Where?
Sorry, boyfriend. Must look.
Sorry. Where is it?
Um,
He would understand.
yeah, he would be like, that's why I love him. Like, he's dragged back down. But anyway, I'm saying, like, I think that's good to have the...
Me looking.
You're not even looking at him as he gets dragged down. It's like, sorry, there's a shark over here. I love you.
Okay. I had one more thing to say. And then my list is done. How long have we been recording? It could have been 15 minutes. It could have been an hour and a half.
We're 44 in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have one for you.
Okay.
I saw this fucking ad for Street Easy
Mm-hmm.
that is like all about how
Never be a
a former New Yorker, right? We said New York or nowhere, and then we chose nowhere. I was like, who does that work on? Who sees that and is like, you know what? I should do Street Easy.
Here's my take. Who's taking the subway and buying a house?
Well, you can use Street Easy for renting.
Oh,
I've used that to look for stuff too. But it's like, that is such a condescending ass, like, hey, pretty expensive here, and if you can't afford it, you're a failure. You're no longer a New Yorker.
Right.
That's
a good
really
point.
what that is.
Well, there's definitely one that says, like, owning a home has never been easier, like, in the little thing. And I'm like,
you sure?
that's actually, one, not true. I actually think it's famously never been harder. Yeah, two is you're advertising to the wrong people.
Yeah.
You should be putting this in the back of, like, an Uber XL screen or whatever.
Yeah. You should beam those directly into Teslas.
Yeah.
I had friends I was talking about, like, before that,
No, you didn't.
the play reading, who he literally, so I got a text a couple days ago. It's all my friends are UPS drivers. A lot of my friends are. And so they're just in group calls all day, every day. If you wonder what the guy's doing when he's the brothers in brown, they're just talking shit to other guys.
Okay.
Anytime someone goes, thank you, ma'am, it's 4 people, thank you, ma'am. Just the most childish, like, oh, have a nice day. And then they'll do the same thing. But one of them texted me a couple days ago, goes, hey, are you free to, like, jump in the call? Because I jump in pretty regularly, like, just to talk and catch up. Well, we also, it's like I go on a trip with these guys every year. Like, it's my good friends.
Yeah.
Some of them are,
Well,
and
they
I'm getting to know
really
the others.
deliver something
Yeah,
to
they
you.
just, rain,
the total
snow, sleet or
package.
heel. They get it, they get there. But he goes, hey, could you jump on the call? Do you have time? I was like, yeah,
And
I'm
I don't
free.
want to put them in a box.
No, certainly. I want to make sure that it's exactly to their dimensions what they want.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, sure, what's up? He goes, could you just, like, explain tariffs to us and stuff? The boys really are just out here speculating, and we don't really know. And they just know that I'm a dork and have a finance degree, so.
And you're like, picture an envelope.
Imagine.
Try to put it in their terms.
Yeah. It's like if you wanted that envelope to go to another center, like another distribution
You have to put a
center.
stamp on it. Trump is making you put 2 stamps if the letter comes from China.
It was very fun for that, and then to just get in the call and one was like, "Yeah, I just want to fucking murder," and they're like talking about their bosses. It was like, I love this so much.
That's awesome.
Have I told you about the union stuff with them?
I don't think so.
It's I don't know him directly, but their union steward is like legit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say his name, but he's like higher up in the union. He like toured the country to go to other Teamster houses to, like, learn from them. And apparently in Chicago they are still old school union. Like the guys are talking to the buddy and he's like, you see that dent, that Coke machine?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, yeah. Because that's where I threw Marcus into it. Isn't that right, Marcus, you piece of shit? And it was like the manager who he had threatened and put into it. He's like, yeah, and just like went into his office.
Whoa.
Like they are still. But there was a guy. So my buddy is en route. And a bunch of us are in his ears. I wasn't there this day, but a bunch of people are in his ears. And when he gets there, the guy goes on, oh, are you out of, and then names the distribution center. Because there's like 4 or 5 in every major city.
Mm-hmm.
Named the one he was at. And he goes, yeah, how do you know that? He goes, oh, I used to be a manager. Okay. Like, why'd you quit or whatever? And the guy goes, because of your union steward. And he named him. He goes, I'm just going to say it and bleep it. He goes, because. He goes, what? Why? Well, when my wife cheated on me, he sent me flowers to my house every day for a week to celebrate and rub it in. That's the antagonism level I want with the bosses. It was just absolutely like, all right, you want to make my boys work harder? You don't want to get them anything? Congrats, big guy.
And that is cunty.
That's cunty as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, oh, dude, that is sick. And people sometimes hear that and they get a little like pull backy. I'm like, don't be a manager. Just don't work for your job. Your whole job is to break the union. You know, like UPS has. I hope we get sued for this. Fuck UPS. But they like.
These are the opinions of Max and not Owen.
They paid to put cameras in the cab where they do not have air conditioning. Instead of
God.
Yeah, dude, it's miserable. Like I know guys there have been guys who pee in bottles, who have peed on packages, I've heard, or like thrown the bottle because they had to pee again. Like now that's I don't think it's my friends. That's more of a story, or is it? I can't sell anybody out. You know what I mean? But isn't that amazing for him to have like brought it up? Like your union steward's so mean to me, and we're all in the background like, hell yeah, get his ass, get him. Apparently, one of the stewards used to sell.
I feel like maybe they were vacuuming upstairs.
Oh, I assumed they were doing a roller derby.
No, it's a vacuum for sure.
Yeah. It's close though. That could have been.
Yeah.
A bunch of lesbians and women who haven't come to terms with it yet. The roller derby, isn't that what it is?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a beat behind you.
You're gonna beat behind me? Is that what you said?
What?
I'm a beat behind you. I said you're gonna beat behind me. Is that what you just said?
I'm gonna beat my meat behind
Yeah,
you.
yeah, of course.
Stick it in.
He used to sell access to his calls with managers though, like because anytime there's a problem, the union steward just comes to him like with contract language and it's just disrespectful as fuck.
That shit's so.
And so he would, if you wanted to be on the calls, yeah, Venmo me $10. I'll put you in on mute and you can listen to me talk shit to your manager for like, be cruel to these guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I had something I was gonna say and then decided against it.
Go for it. Say it. We can cut it.
I don't want to say it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Okay. Here's my last story.
Ever?
Yep.
Hanging up after this?
I'm
No more
done.
stories?
I've had a very interesting life. This is my last story. The last really piece of the puzzle for me. And okay, so you were talking about maybe doing a talk back after your thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to this theater piece.
Real quick. Talk back, just a meeting after a stage reading to get notes. I don't want to just say stuff and move on. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Sure. You think our audience is dumb and uncultured?
I think that's an insane bias that is what you think culture is knowing a talkback. Might be someone who knows what a nickelback formation is in football and not necessarily a talkback.
Look at this photograph.
Anyway, it's more just because I literally said it to you and meant the wrong thing.
I'm playing.
Don't be fucking rude.
We antagonize each other a little bit.
That's what I was doing. I was just feeding off it.
Okay, so a talkback is in the piece of theater. So anyway, I go to this terrible play.
Great start.
Doesn't make any sense. We don't know who the people are to each other, but they're talking this very dramatic, flowery language.
Okay.
Repetition, and I get that it's supposed to be stylistic, but girl, it's boring as hell.
Yeah.
It's like the weather is bad outside, and the other character's like, yeah, the weather's bad. It's like, shut up! Do something entertaining.
Yeah,
Do a little dance. Anyway, we have a talk. There's a talk back afterwards. He's trying, and the author's in the room. I don't even know where to start with this. No one raises their hand. It's extremely awkward.
Was that funny?
They're trying to get stuff going. And meanwhile, there's two people trying to open bottles of wine in the back to like pour out wine.
Wait, you said trying, so it's like loudly failing is what that means?
So then we're like trying to get the conversation going. There's a real lull. In the back we hear, oh! We hear the bottle smash on the ground. So it's insanely awkward. I'm trying not to laugh because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That we're getting this whole other like audio medium happening in the back. One person was like, I guess it was really confusing getting into it. Like I didn't have much to grab onto is what someone's feedback was.
Yeah.
And then the author goes, actually, I just want to say that's a stylistic choice.
Okay.
And like goes on a little rant to defend it. And I was this close to raising my hand to be like, well, it's a stylistic choice that's not working because we were all confused and bored.
Yeah.
And it's just pissing me off to be like, I want feedback on my play, and then you get actual feedback that's not someone stroking your dick, and you're like, speak up about it. It feels so weird. But it was so insanely awkward the way he went in on this girl. Like, it was a stylistic choice. Like, didn't like outright call her stupid,
but really meant
definitely implied it. And I'm like, this should be the play.
Buddy, if you think I wasn't about to say, do you want to write a 10-minute play of this with me? And we can be...
The play should be the talkback after the play.
Well, you do 2 minutes of an awful play. The end of is melodramatic, right?
Yes.
And then the silent talkback. And you have the wine bottles in the back.
Exactly. And we have audience plants to say different things.
Oh, I'm saying we write a 10-minute play that is this.
Oh, that is bad.
No, I'm sorry. We write a 10-minute compressed version of the whole thing. Don't make them sit through 40 minutes of bad theater to get to the joke at the end.
No. I'm saying, yeah, we do just the very end of the thing, but we have like audience plants who are asking questions and maybe getting in arguments with each other.
I see. Yeah, this is very much I think you should leave sketch. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Is the guy in the front who just wants it to be perfect.
Yes.
And someone keeps breaking the thing in the back.
But God, I mean, she said what we were all thinking in the nicest possible way.
And he's like, you stupid cunt.
Literally,
you didn't get it.
It was crazy. So I wanted to tell you that when we talked about the talkback.
No, I'm a big fan of that.
And it was the most awkward thing I've ever experienced in my life, and I loved it.
Well, that is the hardest thing, because the best advice is in writing groups, anything, stage readings, it is listen to all criticism and do not comment on it, because it will stop people from giving other criticism.
Oh, totally.
And all that. I had a bad version of that on the movie that I wrote that we were going to do. Do you remember that?
Yeah. But it wasn't you didn't do anything wrong.
Well, yes. I wrote a script and we read it, and then I got like 3 notes in a row about it needs to be shorter.
Right.
And they were going on page length, not on spoken length, and like
I think it needed to be a little shorter. But they were like, we got to cut 30 pages off of this. I'm like, there would be nothing there.
Yeah, it's comedy's longer. The rule of thumb, we are getting so inside baseball. Yeah, it's annoying. But it's the rule of thumb is 1 page of a script is 1 minute on screen. And in comedy that's not the case. Sure. Because it's so much more dialogue.
Yes.
And I was like
very fast paced.
I had like 2 or 3 people say it until I was like, I know I understand that, guys, but the page count doesn't matter. Like, this table read took 90 minutes, which is pretty good because we had to read stage directions and there's not a lot of visuals. I was like, I felt bad having pushed back because it's people I like look up to and I've made good stuff. But it was like, yeah, you don't have to just own the page number and that defines your work,
Yeah. Also, I don't think your pushback was even, like, in my mind, I didn't even clock it as pushback.
Oh, good.
At all.
Yeah. It's interesting. I want you to read it because it got longer on the rewrite. Got like 10 pages longer on the rewrite. But it's just adding more jokes in. And it's like we can pull. And the thought was...
And there's a lot of that would hit the cutting room floor.
Exactly.
And you would take what works and what... Yeah. So we're on the same page. Let's do a hand hug.
Is this how we do that?
I mean, it's certainly giving me a boner.
He sits like that for an hour at a time just to hide it.
This is how I always sit.
Yeah. I had someone, a cousin watch this, and she was like, didn't even know he was gay except he sat like that.
It's so true. Yeah. I think it's how I sit and how I hold my iced coffee and how I have sex with men.
That's neither here nor there. That's so funny because you talk about being incredibly gay when you were younger, like the like archetype of a gay theater kid.
Yeah.
And it is funny because you are still, let's be clear, super gay, but it's just in such a different way,
Yeah. I mean, people who came to see this community theater production I was in, the lead they thought was gay, straight. Me, they thought was straight, gay.
We this might be problematic. Go ahead.
Okay, when you're talking about my younger self, I want to show you this picture. I look at this photograph every time I do it makes me laugh.
Yeah, look at my little 15-year-old penis. He's pulling up.
Oh my God, no, it was huge.
We call guys like that while you're looking. The guys you're talking about, like the lead who was straight but came off kind of gay. We describe that as flaming for pussy. Have you heard that before? Is that problematic?
I've not heard that.
It's a very annoying. There's a lot of stand-ups that are like this that really fucking queen it up on stage, but are straight guys.
Oh,
and,
sure.
And it's like that is an archetype. The joke of like men not trusting their girlfriend's gay best friend because they might be straight. Like,
right.
Yes, that is overblown, but it does happen. These guys who are very queeny as a way to get close to women.
Yeah. I'm
Hey.
so sorry to be in my phone right now.
And you're looking for something. That's why I'm talking.
Oh, I found it.
God, it was pretty big.
So there's this picture of me that I used to hate.
Mhm.
And now I absolutely love it more than anything on earth.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
And I want everyone to see it. And we can put it in post.
Yeah, just text it to me.
Because all I wanted that Christmas was a pancake mold to make snowflake pancakes. And I wore my Santa Claus apron and hat and made snowflake pancakes.
All day, I bet.
And for years, I was like so embarrassed of how gay this picture was. And now I'm like, I can't believe I had to stifle that part of myself for
Yeah.
so long. Because isn't it the sweetest thing in the fucking world
Yeah.
that I was excited to make a snowflake paint? If I talked about it too much, I could sob my eyes out.
Yeah.
Why did I spend so many years hating this kid? He's the best. Anyway, I hope that was worth it.
No, it's good.
I hope it's fine to get a little real on the Good Boys pod.
Yeah, it's good to be real. Is it is flaming for pussy? Should I not say that? Is that a I want to get the verdict out of gay court, please.
I would say gay court with a gay judge and the gay
Yeah, the
jury.
gay robe and the-
And you get pronounced fabulous. I would not pronounce flaming for pussy fabulous. I think
Okay.
flaming is kind of out.
Interesting.
Flaming is maybe offensive.
I have no idea. It's just such a visceral way to
I think-
describe these straight guys. You know what I mean? That's
I think the word is what I was saying earlier, which is queerbaiting. Where you're baiting people
Yeah.
with queerness to make them like you.
Yeah, definitely. But so for what used to be called flaming, would you say queenie now? Is that no? I mean, because it is a behavior to describe, so there has
Sure.
to be a word that's more appropriate and more precise.
Maybe flamboyant or feminine.
Okay.
I guess flamboyant and flaming is that's kind of a similar word, but they're different words.
Yeah, I don't know. The
Flaming is
etymology of
very
that stuff.
kind of 80s believe language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for listening. That was an hour.
Overall,
We're not doing overalls.
I want to do it.
Okay. Go ahead.
I feel like it gives the audience a sense of closure.
We never have anything. We always go.
But
what
I
did we
don't
talk
like when
about?"
I listen to a podcast and they're like, "Okay, it's over. Cut to credits." I like a little wrap up.
Wear a condom on this pod, dude. Wrap it up. Go ahead.
Overall, let's say, what did we talk about?
Yeah, exactly. Overall, we were both very tired. Overall, I've been waiting to go fart on your bed this whole time.
Oh
I'm
my
going back.
God.
I'm so excited.
Overall, was that funny? Was that hilarious? Overall, goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, I want to now say something,
Okay.
but I want to make sure that it can be easily cut. This is
The
genuine.
N-word.
Yeah. This is. I actually don't know if I should feel bad about
This
this.
is post credits.
Yeah, this might never get put out, but I thought it'd be worth having a conversation on camera. So I was eating pizza, and a Free Palestine march went by, and I was like, all right, well, I don't need this. I should probably get some steps in. I literally was like, that's a fucking sign that I'm eating when I'm not
Yeah.
hungry. Start marching with them. And there's these Zionists all around that are on the edges just agitating. And there's the perfectly barrel-formed white guys who just look like a ball of gelatin that are, for some reason, Zionists. You know what I mean? Their head is a smaller version of their body with no neck attaching it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Waving his Zionist flag. And there's some, you just start screaming at these kids. Not kids, but, they look like kids to me because they're slight. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, getting in people's faces. And so I just go right next to him, go ahead. If you're going to hit somebody, you're going to have to really deal with me, not these fucking, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
hippy-dippy guys. And they start saying something. And I'm going to just say this, and and afterwards tell me that I'm an asshole for it.
Uh-huh.
He's doing something, I say something to him, and he's carrying a big fucking Israel flag, just an Israeli flag. And I go, aren't you a fucking American? Why are you? He goes, hell yeah, brother, aren't you American? He goes, shake my hand like I'm on his side. I go, I fucking hate everything you stand for, you faggot. Don't do that to me.
Uh-huh.
And he looks at me and can't believe it. And I spend the rest of the time
Work.
just in his way.
Uh-huh.
When other people start going near him, you guys okay? Right? And then I'm just laughing in his face. And I'm but I actually called him the F slur. And I go, yes, I'm trying to hurt that dude.
Right.
Now, is that me? Now, do I think that in my heart, I'm it's bad to be a faggot, so I called him that? Or do I think that is a hurtful word?
You want to
in
hurt his
society,
feelings.
And I'm trying to use a word that collectively we have all decided is hurtful. I don't know that one is better than the other, and I'm not like going, I'm super proud and happy I said that.
So then all the Free Palestine people are going to be like, this guy's not with us.
Yeah. But
Okay.
like, and then I spent the whole day, like for the next 2 hours around him, blocking him.
Yeah.
Like after, it's a de-escalation tactic of like get in between the guy who's starting to get mad at him and stuff. And literally the security of the people who had been organizing it, like thanked me at a certain point. Like at first they tried to get me not to because they had their own security.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was, of course it was a white woman who was like, no, get away. And then a black guy was like, thank you. It was like, he's not going to hit you. Like I see what you're doing. You got the power in that.
Right.
So anyway, that's the full story, but I feel weird in my stomach about it, and I wanted to bring it up to you on camera to see what you thought,
It's I mean, I certainly am not the overall ruler
No.
on any term or whatever. I don't love the word in general, and I feel like a lot of gay people are reclaiming it, and it's just not for me. I just don't like hearing it very much.
Mhm.
But there's sometimes I want to say it, and here's a specific example of when a gay guy, and it is a gay guy,
Okay.
is like sitting on the train on his phone while an old woman stands with a bag of groceries. That's faggot behavior. Get up. Be a man. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Just because you're some miserable twink doesn't mean you get to sit on the train while this old woman breaks her back trying to carry her groceries home.
Yeah.
Faggot.
Okay, great.
Isn't that a good example of when it should be used?
Yeah, it's pretty solid, and it shouldn't just be gay guys. Probably it should be anyone who's like me. If I'm sitting there,
I thought you said it wasn't just gay guys.
no, you get to add modifiers to it. You look at me like, hey, you fat faggot, get up.
Yeah.
Let me sit.
Well, overall,
Anyway, overall, yeah. Like I said, that could go in. It is funny, but
Yeah.
I did like I said it and I said it automatically. And
the reason that I would say not to say it is because then you're giving him any sort of way to edge in on you, way to edge with you.
I'd edge with him. Goon and bait, of course.
Right, because then he has the potential of having some sort of moral superiority.
I'm done with that. Actually, I'm done accepting that framing because it is always people who it's like Twitter user watching single moms die. It's like I can't believe you bullied autistic Elon. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like just retweeting trans people like crying or like their life falling apart or families being ripped apart. They're like, haha, that's awesome. They got deported. And then they're like, hey, he's autistic and likes letters, guys.
Yeah.
I just refuse to accept that framing.
Well, sure.
And the other thought is I will never let someone tell me something's offensive. You have to say, I was offended. Do not tell me something was offensive.
Oh, sure.
You tell me you were offended. I will talk and I will apologize. And sure.
Yeah.
I no longer accept. I literally had this thought at Aldi today. I no longer accept it's offensive. No, it's not. You can be offended and I can agree to apologize and be sensitive. But I'm saying like, sorry, that kind of triggered me. That I'm not going to cede or accept that I ceded some moral high ground to some guy off of that.
I think another layer to it as well could be like me wanting to be like, well, this guy's not with us.
Yeah.
Like, if you call him a faggot, and that's faggot behavior, but faggot is a word that many people have used to describe me and my behavior, I don't want to be lumped in with.
Definitely. That makes a lot of sense.
As with that, yeah.
And it was a visceral thing, said it once, and I literally in the moment go like that. I not crystal clear on if I like that, so I'm gonna just not.
Faggot. Let me go think about this for a few hours.
That faggot tasted weird on the way out.
They usually taste weird on the way in.
Okay, cool. There's no resolution I'm looking for, or I don't want you to absolve me of guilt. I just wanted to like share.
Well, thank you for coming to confession.
You can get off your knees now.
You can do 3 Hail Marys.
Do you want to teach me
and
those?
You've been pronounced fabulous.
That's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Good boys. La, 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 la. Good boys. La, la, la. La, la, la. Good boys.